Hello everything! Good day! I am Alexander K. Nocete, the representative of our group to discuss the parts and the function of a motherboard. And here is the motherboard that we made. And this motherboard is based on Asus 797-A. So, if you want to learn the parts and the function of the motherboard, just keep on watching. So, before we proceed to the parts and function of a motherboard, first, let's define what is motherboard. So, what is motherboard? A motherboard connects and transmits signals to and from peripherals like a keyboard and a mouse and a monitor. So, what is motherboard made of? A motherboard is composed of two materials. First, the layer of fiberglass for insulation, and second is the copper to form conductive pathways. And now, let's go on to the parts and function of a motherboard. First is the CPU socket. CPU, or what we call the central processing unit, is the most important part of your computer. It's also the brain of the computer. They're responsible for fetching, decoding, and executing program instructions, as well as performing mathematical and logical calculations. And the CPU socket is where your CPU or processor is installed. Second is the memory slot, or what we call the RAM slot. RAM, or random access memory, are also called computer memory, is another crucial part of a computer. It's volatile that temporarily store dynamic data to enhance computer performance while you are working, and it loses its contents once power is turned off. Well, the memory slots are where we insert the RAM. Third is the CMOS battery. The CMOS battery, or the complementary metal oxide semiconductor battery, is what responsible for keeping all the information intact when the entire system is shut down. The CMOS battery can be removed to reset the BIOS after a failed update, or if you overclock your RAM beyond its capabilities. Fourth is the PCI slots. PCI slots stands for Peripheral Component Interconnect and Expansion Bus, is an input-output pathway from the CPU to peripheral devices. These are the slots that allows inserting expansion cards such as graphic cards, sound card, LAN card, or several other functional computer parts. PCI is the most common expansion bus in a PC and other hardware platforms. Next is the IDE, or the SATA Express. On older motherboards, you found integrated drive electronics, or IDE slots. These are the standard interface for connecting a motherboard to storage devices such as hard drives and CD-ROM or DVD drives. But now, the latest motherboards make use of SATA technology. A serial advanced technology attachment is a computer bus interface used to connect host bus adapters with mass storage devices like optical drives and hard drives. Next, the computer chipsets. A chipset is a group of small circuits that coordinate the flow of data to and from the PC's key components. A computer has got two main chipsets. First, the North Bridge, and second is the South Bridge. First is the North Bridge. North bridge is also the memory controller. It is in charge of controlling transfers between the processor and the RAM, which is why it is located physically near the processor. Second is the South bridge, also called the input-output controller or expansion controller. It handles communication between slower peripheral devices such as USB, audio, serial, the system BIOS, the ISA bus, and so on. Next is the input-output or the back panel parts. These ports are located at the back of the computer and are often color-coded. Next is the front panel. The front panel header is where the connectors or hard disk drive activity lights, case speaker, reset button, power on-off button, computer power on light, and key-lock are connected to make them function smoothly. Connecting the front panel would no longer be to the headache of installing motherboard anymore. Next is the capacitors. In layman's terms, a capacitor is a tiny electrical component soldered in a motherboard. Capacitor performs a couple of different functions. And that's all for today's video. Hope guys you learned something for what I've shared to you and what I've discussed earlier. Thank you, God bless, and stay safe everyone because of this, what we are having now, a pandemic. So stay at home, hoping that it will end. Bye bye!